Hey everybody, this is a quick PS to the video I did yesterday as far as making your own spray color inks with food dye. And I wanted to show something else that I am going to show you that you can also do, and then talk about something that somebody had asked me. These are what we did yesterday. They're all dry. And it's the video before this where you could see we just used food coloring. And this is just on regular cardstock. There's a couple pieces of, this one actually is a gessoed piece. So you can see the difference. The rest of these aren't. They still look great. Still came out great. Great for backgrounds and everything like that. What I'm going to do today is mix up, because I had this idea after the fact. I have a empty bottle. These are great bottles. They're from Stampendous. This is 4 ounce. I got these at Michael's in the bin by where the Martha Stewart stuff is, and where their acrylic paints and all are. They're a little bit more expensive than you buy the cheap dollar ones from your drugstore or dollar store. However, they spray fine, and I'm going to explain that in a second, which I explained in my other video about the way they spray. But let me show you this really quickly. We're gonna try out alcohol ink. Okay, and I'm just using printer paper, which I probably should have used a thicker paper. Maybe I'll use a back of one of mine here. Yeah. Which I'll do right now. I'm going to put a little bit of gesso on half of this, and then we'll do it on cardstock too, since that's printer paper I have sitting there and that's thin, and which you can still use printer paper, it's not going to bother anything, but I'm just going to gesso half of this so then we can see. The gesso seals it. If you don't have gesso, you can use just your regular white paint. Some people, like I said prior, take their regular white acrylic paint, add a little bit of, just a tad bit of baby powder to thicken it to give it some grit, and use that as their gesso. There are tons of gesso recipes. I have one in my group, All Things Creative. On Facebook you can join up there, and we have all kinds of cool recipes and whatnot, homemade recipes. And wipe this off. You know, or you could just do that. You don't have to really necessarily go out and buy. But see, you can see this is just printer paper, real flimsy, and this one's just a gesso piece. Because I just want to try this. What I'm going to do is just take, this is 91% regular alcohol, you know, store brand, whatever. 70% works, I'm sure, just as fine. I just always have this on hand. I'm just going to pour, because we're just going to try a little bit of this. So I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. You pour as much as you want, but I'm just going to try this out, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do a little bit more since I'm going to do the other paper. And let's see what happens. And we'll do a bright color. I'll just put 1, 2, 3 drops of my red in. And that's it. And I'm going to give it a shake. You can see the color. So, my first spray is going to be just water. Okay. So let's see. I should fill it up enough so that... Okay. Not bad. It's going to dry. I should have put more ink in. That's with only 2 drops. Let me put one more because it is light because of the alcohol. And again, it's crappy paper, let's remember. It's just your printer paper, which is very thin, has nothing on it, so it's going to soak in. Let's try the gessoed piece of printer paper. Very cool. Let me dry it and see. That's one nice thing with the... Okay, you definitely want to gesso your paper if you're doing this. Because that's a non-gessoed piece. And although you have a nice light, it's like a light pink. Obviously, I should have put a little bit more color on there. I didn't put, it's too big of a bottle because my other ones are already made from yesterday. But that's a nice, I mean, that's a nice pink thing, but I'm not really digging on that. But this one's just a very, it's a piece of printer paper that I'd printed out and it didn't print right. And I just put one coat of gesso on there, so it's very thin, and that's how it came out. That's just alcohol and the food coloring. Now I have this piece, which is a piece of the thicker paper cardstock, which I gessoed. Let me dry that for a minute. Let me find... Dry, 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 dry. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. This is gessoed side, this is a not gesso side. This is a thicker paper, cardstock, I believe. Now you get to see the difference. This actually looks more of the dilutions color than the water one. Now the water one I probably would have added more. But look how cool. I wonder if we spread a little bit of water on that. Ah! Look how cool. Let me dry that. Oh! Well, now that I dried it and pushed it around, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's great. But it is, I mean, it is still good. And alcohol dries very quickly. Oh, I'm excited. Okay. Clear up, clear up. It's not clear, there you go. Look how cool. Watch when I spray. Watch what it does. It kind of runs and does its own thing. Watch what it's doing. Look how cool. Alcohol. That's it. Now, what I want to try. Oh, crap, I don't have another. I don't have another empty thing around. Why do I do that to myself? Let's try. I have my little boopy thing. Let's see if we can do something with this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and I'm just going to drop some of this on here. And boy, the difference without gesso. Not that it really makes a difference. I mean, it's lighter. Obviously, the paper is going to suck it in a little bit, but still, who cares? Okay, so very excited. I promise not to make this another 40-minute video. But I'm just taking a little dropper. So if it's like alcohol ink, and we're going to see, I'm going to do over here on both sides, the gessoed side and not. Squirt that in there, and then put the lid back on that. I mean, it looks like alcohol ink. Now what I'm going to do is take, I have a little cup here, do I? I'm usually very prepared. No, I'm not. That's a joke. And anybody listening to me is probably laughing, saying, yeah, right. I'm just going to take a little bit of the alcohol, just the teeniest bit, pour it in this little plastic cup here. I love buying these kind of things like this in little Dixie cups from the dollar store. And let me use a blue, sorry, colorblind. I'm just going to do a drop or two in there. And you can see, and I'm just going to mix it up. I'm going to suck it up. And then add. This paper is not treated, remember. And this paper is oh my god, I am in love. Okay, I'm so glad I did this. Now, let's talk about a few things. Let me rinse my little poopy out. I wonder if I add a little bit of water. This will do anything at this point. Probably not. This is the untreated gesso one, so I really highly advise you to treat your paper, unless you're using glossy. If you're using glossy, no problem. But you can see this is untreated, and I'm just putting a few drops of water. Let's put a drop of water there, drop of water there, drop, 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 drop. But the gessoed side rocks. I'm going to leave that dry for a second and then talk to you about a few things while that dries. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, so those are going to dry, and I'm going to talk to you about something really quickly. Somebody had asked if these are, if these will fade, if these will, you know, keep this color and all those kind of things. So I did some research, and what I had already thought was really what the answer was. If you know, I mean, we all don't live 100 years, so this is something that I'm going to use in some paintings and some things. I'm doing some ATC cards and some things, and these are some things I'm going to use. Now, what I advise is, although this will not do anything but sit like this. These were from last night. This is straight food coloring. Like you can see in my other video, that's just straight food coloring. Nothing else on here. Not gessoed, not anything. The colors are all the same as they were last night, not changed. They are completely dry. What I would do, and what I do, regardless of whether I'm using this or whatever I'm using, I always cover it over, meaning seal it, by whether an acrylic spray, a Mod Podge, whether you use matte or gloss, a Collage Podge, Mod Podge, you know, a sealant. So when you seal it, it's sealed underneath and the air can't get to it, and it's not going to move. Okay, that's number one. Is my advice to you. If you don't like to seal things, I really don't think it's going to do much of anything. But everything I've researched, everything I've found, nobody's had an issue with it because it's such a strong, strong dye. Especially if you're mixing it like I'm mixing them. I mixed, for these, I mixed with white school glue. And I mixed with some gum Arabic. So, you know, they're kind of already got their sealant in it. So that's number one. Number two is, I also learned, and I knew this, and I didn't do it yesterday because I don't have this stuff on hand, but I might pick it up from the dollar store. People also use Kool-Aid packets instead of food coloring. Now, and they use Rit dye also. I looked at Rit dye, and it's very expensive for a big bottle of the liquid. I'm not a powder freak to mix and use, but if you are, buy the packages of the Rit dye. You can mix those with the alcohol, and you can mix those with the water also. Maybe one day I'll do a video on that, but right now I'm really thrilled with these results I'm getting so far. But they use the Kool-Aid packets too. I guess you can buy them in variety, so you have different colors, and you can mix them with the water, and you can mix them. And I would use the white glue in those also, you know, and you can do that. For me, it's much more simpler for me to buy these little containers. You know, you use a couple drops here and there. and you get great results, and it's just an extra thing to add to your you know, your art supplies, so you don't have to go out and buy all the expensive stuff if you don't have the money or if you choose not to. So, you know, that's my opinion on that. Like I said, seal everything so you everything's safe, everything's sealed underneath. I always do that. Sometimes when I do my paintings, I do glossy because I want it to look glossy. Sometimes I do the matte. Depends on what you like. Everybody has a cool thing. One last tip I want to tell you that I did not do yesterday was to add, I don't know if I have them down here. Let me see. Oh, I swear. If I was organized, boy oh boy would I be in good shape. Mica powder, perfect pearls. Okay? So, real quick, I'm going to take my one I did yesterday. I'm going to have a little scooper, just a teeny little bit. If I get on camera, maybe you can see it. I'm just going to take the littlest bit and put it in there. And then put this on. And then shake it real good. Cover this up because those who know me know this will end up all over my desk in about 2 minutes. I'm one of them kind of people. Now let me show you this. Look how cool. We made our own alcohol ink, peeps. And even on the side it's not gessoed. Not bad. Really cool effect. But look, how fun. It's fun. It's fun. And then this is it just on regular cardstock. Alright, so I added my mica in there. It's squirting a little, right? So let's see. Maybe I needed a little bit more. But we're just going to spray and see how that comes out. Now I'm just going to spray over here a little bit. I only did a little dab because I'm not real sure. Oh yeah, I see it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, rock and roll, hoochie coo mother. Woo! Rockin', so rockin'. Oh my god, I'm so excited to show you this. I'm gonna pee my pants. Okay. I don't think it's very professional to say, but I is who I is. Oh my god, I'm gonna have so much fun today. It's these little silly things like this that, like, I don't know if it does it for you too, but it makes it's exciting. It's just exciting. Alright, let me just one more second to get this. I don't want to blot it up because then you'll lose the These are perfect pearls. You can use any mica that you have. You know, like fine mica. Even, I'm sure even like very fine glitter. Like a very, very fine glitter would work. You just want to be able to get it through the nozzle. That's the thing. But these mica powders, these perfect pearls, use a coupon at your store. Just grab a batch. Just one package. I think you get 4 or 5 in them. And then you can use them in so many different ways. Okay. Alright. Let me show you this one. Look at the blue. Look at that. Can you see the mica in that? That's from the spray. We just made our own perfect pearl spray, people. Now this was mixed with, oh my god, I wish you could see. Let me just turn it, turn it, turn it. Oh my gosh, who's calling me? Alright. See, I can see it like so good right there. Let's see. Can you see it? I can see it. Look. Look how beautiful. This is not in the alcohol spray. This is in the regular water and white glue, and food coloring. Look at that. Oh my God. Look. That's just the perfect pearls in there. And the great thing with perfect pearls, it sets with water. So we are good to go. This ain't going nowhere. Alright? Now, let's see what we got here. Look how pretty. And this is the non-gessoed side right here. Non-gesso. Look how pretty. Look when I turn it. Like right here. Look at that. Look. And then this is our alcohol ink side. I am so excited. It is so exciting. I get so excited over silly things like this. I love that people can now, I mean, that you can do these things on your own and not have to spend a fortune. Look at this little circle down here. Look at it shining. And it's all permanent now. So, isn't that exciting? I'm so excited. I want to try one more thing. I know, I'm going to drive you guys crazy. Oh no, I can't. Did I mix? Okay, no, I'm good. Alright, so I'm going to take this. This is my alcohol ink. Let's just see what it does. It's going to be a little runny. I don't know if I can thicken it or if I even want to. I'm going to have stained hands later, but I don't care. Let's just do a coat right there. Woohoo! Isn't that funny, the things you get excited over? Just give this a quick wipe. The alcohol dissipates so quickly. Look at that. That's the alcohol ink on top. Now I can make it darker by putting more red food coloring in. This is the alcohol. It's already dry. Already dry. And now I just added another layer. And that, of course, is from that side. But let's look at that mica again. Look how awesome. Awesome. Okay, so that's what we got going on. We mixed it with alcohol and got great alcohol inks. Go to the dollar store, go in the baby section or wherever, buy your own spray bottles and buy your own droppers. Or you can buy the empty containers that have the droppers in them, which are even great, or save your medicine, you know, that has it in there or whatever, and when they're done you have them. And you can make your own alcohol inks that way, or buy empty containers or sprays or whatever. This right here, a little bit of alcohol ink. I will take, what will I take? Oh, let's do this. Real fast, I'll just take my paintbrush. And, I mean, you can paint with it. Look. Yeah, you can paint with it. Spray a little water on it. Gives it a little finesse. Leave it run down. Play all around. Whatever. And so, all we did was we had our alcohol from the pharmacy. This is 91%. You can use your 70%. It's all the same. I had an old spray bottle. I put some alcohol in it. Some food coloring, got my own alcohol ink. Here I have the ones I made yesterday, which were water, food coloring, a little bit of white school glue, and I just today added my mica in it, and I am in love with it. So I mean, right now, if you have these things in your cabinet, you are good to go, baby. Good to go. And now you have your own art. You're starting off with your own art products. How awesome is that? Just want to dry this for a second. See, when I get excited over things, it's a bad thing, because then I'll sit here and obsess. I gotta remember I'm videotaping. But, how cool. Look at the mica in that I just did. And that's just with Perfect Pearls. And again, when you hit Perfect Pearls with water, look at that. When you hit it with water, it becomes permanent. Any questions, leave it to me at the bottom. Again, like I said, people use Kool-Aid, powdered Kool-Aid. They use RIT dye. I'm all for cheap. So I get a variety of colors in the food coloring. That's what I did. That's my experiment. Maybe one day I'll try the Kool-Aid if I see it at the dollar store. I might pick it up and try it just to try it. But right now we've made our own alcohol inks. We've made some shimmery paint colors. And it's just with food dye, water, a little bit of school glue, and then the alcohol ink is just alcohol and the coloring. And I bet you can even put the mica in with the alcohol ink, which I'm not going to do now because I'm not going to make this as long video as I did the prior. But, I mean, how much fun is this? You can have all of the same effects as if you bought the real product. Again, look. Look at the sparkles in there. I mean, it's so cool. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you share it. And I hope you try it and let me know. Again, as far as longevity, I don't see an issue with it. Everything I've looked up, because it's such a concentrated color, if you want, you can use, you know, it's like if you had a beet and you, how you say, made a liquid from it, juiced it, you know what I mean, and used that color. You can use that too, you know what I mean, as long as you seal it in some sense. You know, you will be absolutely fine if you seal it. If you don't, I really don't see an issue. But hey, try these, have fun, let me know how you make out. You're saving tons of money, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon with another project. Bye guys.